Ultima we definitely have to keep. Seam Rip is good. We can actually play the Seam Rip though if we keep it on top. I think we're going to do it like that. It is a permanent. So it just works out perfectly. What's going on YouTube? Achilles here, and today I put together an Abzan control list. Since the rotation happened, I wanted to rebuild a deck based around Yuna, and usually I go the Selesnya control route, but this time we're doing an Abzan control list, because since we're playing black now, we can play Virtue of Persistence, and this card adds an extra layer of madness to the whole theme of reviving all our cards, especially since this card could revive Yuna, and Yuna could revive Virtue from the graveyard, so it just could get out of hand very quickly. And since we're playing black, we could also play Overlord of the Balemurk, which goes hand in hand with Yuna, and with Bitter Triumph, we could discard our very powerful enchantments in our hand, get them in the graveyard, and then Yuna could bring them back. And with Edge of Eternities out, we're trying out 3 Seam Rip, which will throw off all those aggro decks. Plus, this card could get rid of all those powerful artifacts and enchantments that have mana value 2 or less, such as Riverchurn Monument. So this card will hold off our opponent before we could get our own game plan going. And in our land base, the new cards we're trying out are Adagia, Windswept, Bastion. And if we could meet the station requirement for this card, we could start copying our own enchantments. So that could be very good. And we also have the Secluded Starforge, which is just here to make a bunch of robots. So we play a very controlled game plan. We ramp up slowly with a couple cards. We destroy a bunch of things on the board. And the later the game goes on, the more of a threat our deck will become, because we could just keep reanimating everything. So if they don't exile anything, then everything will be a resource. So let's get right into this list. We got 3 Seam Rip, 2 Get Lost, 2 Bitter Triumph, 4 Esper Origins, 2 Summon Fenrir, 1 Buried in the Garden, 3 Ultima, 3 Overlord of the Balemurk, 4 Overlord of the Hauntwoods, 4 Yuna, Hope of Spira, 1 Overlord of the Mistmoors, 3 Virtue of Persistence, 2 Summon Knights of Round, 2 Summon Bahamut, and for the lands we got 1 Adagia, Windswept, Bastion, 3 Plains, 3 Swamps, 3 Forests, 4 Sandsteppe Citadel, 4 Fabled Passage, 1 Fountainport, 1 Secluded Starforge, and 4 Starting Town. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you have not already, and if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. All we got to do with this hand is make a white mana source, and we'll have all 3 colors at our disposal. Depending on what they do, I'll either go Esper Origins or Virtue, but it looks like an aggro deck if I had to guess. I have no idea what they're doing. Although maybe they're doing like a Blink style deck where they could just reuse a bunch of cards. We're going to find out, that's for sure. Frog deck. Very interesting. They're setting up for something great. Could already see it. I'll put this in the graveyard for Yuna. I'm going to draw the Bitter Triumph the next turn. Go for a swing. Okay, this is perfect, because now we are just going to Ultima next turn. Let's go from there. I'll throw them off. Okay, that's fair. I too could bring out creatures. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Get back Overlord of the Balemurk, which will give us more cards in our graveyard to bring back with Yuna. Did we bring that back? You know what? Yeah, sure. If we end up wanting to use Bitter Triumph, then we could at least follow it up with this. Plus, it could be just discard fodder, but we might want to end up discarding this anyway. So, it'll be fine. The whole idea is in our graveyard we have a Virtue of Persistence, which we'll bring back, which is one of the best cards we could reanimate anyway. So it all just works out. Frogs. So cool. I love it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go for the swing. Get back Yuna. I'm going to play the Yuna again. I'm going to pass, and we're going to get back. You know what? I think we're going to get buried in the garden. Because if we do this, at least now we could get rid of the Valley Mightcaller, which is going to get ridiculously strong. And just these two cards alone aren't going to be that good. So we throw off their momentum of attacking, I guess, because I really don't think they're going to swing with these unless they find something else. Interesting. The Polywop again. That's fair. But what if, just what if I played Yuna again? Oh, I could use this right now. You know what? That's actually really good, because now we could use this, discard the summon, and then we could play the summon. Get rid of that. Too bad this is at sorcery speed. Imagine just using the station ability on the end phase of their turn real quick. That'd be crazy. Man, unfortunately, that's not going to help them. And now we could use the station ability since they don't really have any pressure on us. Just chaining down everything, huh? You know what? I could do that too. I was going to chain down their creature. That would have been funny. Opponent's going to go first. I will keep this. Since we don't want to take any unnecessary damage, I will choose a force, so when we go starting town next turn into Esper Origins, we will only gain life and not lose anything. Oh no, not this deck. Whenever I see this card now, it's just like, it's like just the card to watch out for. You know what? I think we don't need a land right now. Because we go for Summon Fenrir next turn, it'll be our 4th land. So we want to maybe just find something else to be as flexible as possible. Yeah, they're going for all the nonsense with this deck. We got to be careful in this matchup. At least we got a blocker now. This guy is the card that really does it all. Once they have like a Sefirot on the board, they got a bunch of these out, they start pinging you for a bunch of damage. It's interesting to see it in a Rakdos shell though. So I'm curious to see what they end up doing. But once I get a Yuna out here, start gaining life, we'll hopefully be all good. Ultima we definitely have to keep. Seam Rip is good. We can actually play the Seam Rip though if we keep it on top. I think we're going to do it like that. It is a permanent. So it just works out perfectly in that sense. And next turn, if we don't get anything good, well, actually, 3, 6. We could actually go for Summon Knights around next turn for 8 mana, which I think I'm actually going to do, because they're giving up their Sefirot at this point if they're just swinging. Why would they do that? They are definitely playing Raise the Past, since I see this Nomad Outpost. It's not a Rakdos deck. So we have to deal with this very carefully. All starts with this. By their play pattern on the curve that they have taken, I feel like a Raise the Past is definitely coming. Yep, see, look at that. That's really good for us. I'm going to play this just to give myself some life gain. This is actually perfect. We'll get both of those in there for fodder for Yuna. And now, go for the summon. Get rid of the big threat, which is the card that does damage to us. Without this card, their deck is not as good. So they disassemble their board as soon as they see that I target that, because they can't do damage once that thing is off the board. So they're trying to surveil into another Raise the Pass so they can do it all over again. Do they have another Raise the Pass? That's the question. But even if they did, I think we're still out of range with how everything has been set up. And since Yuna just gives all our enchantments lifelink, all our enchantment creatures, then it's just insane for them to try to keep up with the life gain, with the damage that they're dishing out. Yeah, and that's it. Summon gets rid of Sefirot, and we win. Opponent goes first. I will keep this hand just because we have the Sandsteppe Citadel, and it's all 3 colors. And since they're going first, we have extra turns to potentially draw more lands, so we could curve out correctly. And that solves the whole problem. The beauty of starting town. And once the rotation happened, I knew this card would just get even better. And if you're playing a 3-color deck like this, then this card is just a staple at that point. Nothing beats it. In standard, of course. Go right into the Overlord. We want to get our mana ramped up quickly so we could do a lot of things. I prioritize that over the Esper Origins because all it's doing is surveilling and setting up for the Yuna, but this gives us an extra land which sets up a lot more, which is obviously just the better thing. They're playing a so far it's Azorius, but I think it's a Jeskai list, as that's what usually these decks do. What do we do now, though? That's the question. I think we're just going to set up for Ultima next turn. It doesn't seem the most ideal, but if they're going to pump this thing up with 1,000,000 attack, we're going to lose. And we don't really have a better play. Like, oh my god, see, they're gonna... So it's gonna gain 3 counters on it. And if they do it again, which they might, yeah, it's Jeskai, that'll be 6. But they don't do that instead. Okay, so it'll be 5. So it will go to 9 attack. I definitely feel the Ultima is justified at this point. It's a lot of damage. Even with the Bitter Triumph, I'm still going to Ultima. It will be nice, though, if I could get, let's say, the Summon Bahamut ideally in the graveyard. And then we could play this and start popping all these powerful cards they got. This is so cool, actually. This is the replacement to that 2-drop card that went out of rotation. Play another creature, please. Yes. Okay. It makes the Ultima just seem more justified if I do it this way. As I want to go Bitter Triumph and set up the Yuna, but there's just no window to do that if they have one creature out. That's all they need for that deck. And then they just pump it up with the profs. And then that's it. So, look at that. Absolutely insane. Alright, we don't have anything better to do than just do this at this point. I wish we had an extra land to at least play, but we don't. What spell will they replay? Probably the Helping Hand. Oh, they could do anything, that's right. Very fair. Okay. I think we just have to see what they end up doing before I use the Bitter Triumph. All depends on who they pump up. Whoa. This is getting crazy. We gotta really get ready for this. Luckily, we have the 2 extra mana to pay. We are giving it to that, though. Okay, actually, this might work out. Alright, that's fair. So, this is the move, guys. Discarding a card. We're gonna do this. Discard that. Pay the ward cost. Get back the Overlord. Gonna block you and just take the 7. Go to 5. And now we play Yuna. We get the lifelink. And now we end your turn. We get the summon Bahamut that we wanted. Get rid of their creature. And just go from there. They also have only 23 cards left in their deck, which is something to always keep in mind. This deck is burning through their own deck just really quickly, just trying to combo off with this card. So if you could weather the storm like I'm trying to, then they're eventually going to run out of resources. But let's see. You can't count this deck out. Yeah, it's just very deadly. And we get it. Nice. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comment section down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you have not already. And if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.